So in this video we're going to see how we can connect to the MongoDB database from Express, and then we can perform CRUD operation. So here we're just gonna start from scratch and we're gonna create the file structure required to perform the CRUD operation. So first of all we're gonna initialize, so npm init. So here we have to provide the package name. So the package name is Express MongoDB CRUD. So here is our package.json is ready. Now here we have to download some of the packages. So we need the Express and the Mongoose. So npm install Express and Mongoose. So here you can see the Express and Mongoose are installed. So here we're just gonna create one file, index.js, and this is the main entry point. So here first of all we're gonna import Express. So require Express, import Mongoose. So require Mongoose. Now const app equal Express. So we're gonna use the middleware Express.json. Now let's just connect to MongoDB. We're gonna use mongoose.connect, and here we have to provide the connection string, so which is MongoDB localhost, and the port number, we have the port number 27017, and after that the database name. So here we have the student database, so we're going to use that, so /student, and this will connect to the student database. So once that is connected, then we're going to use the promise chain, and we're going to console log connected to MongoDB. If there is any error, console log the error. So let's now start the server. So we're gonna use app.listen, and we're gonna listen to the port 3000. So once that is connected, then we're just gonna console log server is running. So let's now use one get route to test if everything is working properly or not, and here we're just gonna simply send the response hello world. So let's now start the server. So node index. So here you can see server is running on port 3000. So it is connected. So if we go to localhost 3000, so you can see we are getting the response hello world. So our server is running properly. So here we're gonna create proper file structure. So first of all we're gonna define the model. So we're gonna create one models folder, and here inside we have to define the schema. So we're gonna create one student.js, and here we're going to define the schema. So first of all we have to import the Mongoose. So we're going to create the student schema. So mongoose.schema. So the student schema will have the ID, and the type will be string, and required will be true. So unique will be true, and also we're going to have the name. The type will be string, and the required will be true. So the schema will have two fields. Now we have to export that. So module.exports mongoose.model. So the model name is student, and we're gonna export the student schema. So we are pretty much done with the model. Now we have to define the route. So let's just create one routes folder, and here inside we're gonna create one file, studentroute.js. So here we're gonna define the route. So first of all we're gonna import the Express, and also we're gonna import the router. So let's now import the model. So require /model/student, and let's now define the post route. So router.post. So we're gonna receive the post request. So here in the request body we're gonna have the student name and ID, and we're gonna store that into our database. So let's just create new student, and here the ID will be request.body.id. So we're gonna receive the ID in the request body, and also the name from the request.body.name. And after that we're gonna save the new student, and once that is done, then we're gonna send the response, and at the end we're just gonna export the router. So we have defined the routes and also the model. Now we have to update the index.js. So here let's just now use the routes. So we're gonna import the student route from the routes folder. Now let's just use that route. So app.use. So whenever we receive the endpoint API/students, then we're gonna use the student route. Let's now restart the server. So node index. So here it says require is not defined, so I have mistaken somewhere. So here require is mistaken, so here the S has to be capital. So let's now open the Thunder client, and from here we're gonna create one new post request. So we're gonna create one post request to the endpoint localhost 3000/API/student, and in the body we're gonna pass the name and ID of the student. So the ID is 1 and the name can be John. So let's now send that. Here's the ID has to be a string, so let's now pass the string one. Click on send. Here's I have mistaken, here has to be API/students, so we have to restart the server. Here student. So it's working now. So you can see we have the response with the ID and the name. Similarly also we can pass another student with the ID 2, can be Julie, and click on send. So you can see we have another student record added. Now if we go to MongoDB, and here if we check inside the database, so inside the student collection, so here we have the student name Sam, and also we have the John that we have added now, and also we have the student Julie that also we have added. So let's now see how things are working. So this is one simple folder structure to perform the CRUD operation. So first of all, we are using Mongoose to connect to that local MongoDB database, and then we're just using the student route. So whenever we receive API/students endpoint, then we're gonna use the students route, and here inside the student route, so here we have defined the model. So the schema will have ID and name, and then we're just exporting, then importing that in the students route here, and then in the post request, whenever we receive the ID and the name from the request body, then we're just creating the new student instance, and then we're just saving this, and whenever that is saved, and then we're just sending the JSON response, and then we have exported this so that we can use that in our index.js. And this way, whenever we perform a new post request to this endpoint, and in the body we have the name and the ID, the student's information will be stored in the local MongoDB database. So that's it for the video. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.